first we'll open it up with you. What are your initial thoughts after that barn burner and exciting win?
Wow, great game. Two really high-level teams going head-to-head and playing about as close as it can get. And great pitching, great defense on both sides, huge hits on both sides, and we got the last big hit, and then Scully was able to close it out. Just an amazing game. Hats off to Collins, who pitched really, really well. Did a good job keeping us off balance and competed well. So really, really good opponent in Hopkins, and great game of baseball.
Noda, you came up, obviously had a pretty clutch moment in the 7th inning there. Can you take us through that AB? Just not, obviously you guys had 2 runs at that point, but not much damage able to be done against Collins to that point, and then that was the big blow. Can you take us through that at bat a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking for a pitch in my zone that I could drive. I was just trying to put a good swing on the ball. I give props to the guys in front of me for getting on base and even giving me an opportunity to get up there. But yeah, I was just looking to drive something. Luckily, I got just enough of it to get out.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Danny, similarly, 10th inning, you got a guy in third. Were you just trying to hit a ball up in the air, get that run home, give yourselves the lead, or what was the approach there?
Yeah, I mean, the simple approach there is put a ball in the air, take the lead. That's what you're going for there. I mean, but we're not in that position there. We don't get support. We let up the deep ball. I think it was in the 8th or 9th inning, but we don't get there if we don't have the initial run support, and then we don't get there if we don't have the pitching get us through the 9th inning. So I think the fly ball there, and eventually went over the fence, but it was big. But so many pieces got us to that point, and it just made my job pretty easy at that point, and luckily I came through.
Definitely. And then Evan, clutch relief out of the pen in the 9th and 10th innings. What was your approach as you came in? Obviously tie game, great offense that you're facing. They were the home team, so if they got a run, they walked it off in the 9th there. What was your approach? You came out, got 2 pretty quick outs. What was your mindset coming in?
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team. It was just about staying loose and making my pitches and just doing what I've been doing all season, so that's about it.
And then similarly in the 10th inning there, when you guys get the 1-run lead, I feel like that's more of the situation you're accustomed to, coming in and trying to hold the lead there, lock it down. Same mindset in the 10th there, or anything different?
Yeah, again, just staying loose and just having a good time. Like, if I get tightened up, then I won't make my pitches, so that's all I can do.
Perfect. And then Coach, Jordan, some of us in the press box thought he would be pulled a little earlier. You decided to stick with him, and it paid off greatly. He obviously had that one little hiccup there with the 3-run homer, but got through it and pitched pretty well in the game. What made you stick with your ace there and just keep going with him against one of the best lineups, maybe the best lineup in baseball?
He's an excellent competitor, and when he got out of the jam, whatever inning they put up the 3 spot, I don't remember exactly what inning, maybe the 4th, he punched out the 9-hitter to the lefty. We're going to let him face him. And at that point, he was only at 70 pitches. We just felt he could do it. And then when he got through the next inning clean, let him go for the next one, and gave up 1 more, but I thought he competed extremely well throughout the course of his 6 innings, and got us to some of our better relievers in Foxy and Scully, and we have a bunch of others as well. But I thought Jordan really did his job today by keeping us in the game and pitching the way he has all year. He's just a great competitor.
And then, Noda, I'll ask you a defensive question here. You had a few deep fly balls off the bat of big 33 there. It seemed like he was pulling for another homer in that area, and you tracked down a few. What was going through your mind when you saw the ball coming out your way late in the game? A few clutch catches at the fence there that you made, even the foul ball as well up over the fence that you pulled back. Can you talk a little bit about your defensive mindset? Because I know there was a few weeks here where you were injured and Tino did a great job filling in and left, but what's your mindset out there, locking down that north field, left field?
Yeah, I'd say the first thing is find the fence. I didn't do that before, and that's why I ultimately ended up getting hurt. So my biggest thing was just find the fence and then work back from there, and luckily they stayed in. I was able to catch them on the warning track. The wind was kind of pushing it back, so I knew I had to go back on them, and they stayed in, and I was able to make some plays.
And then Danny, same thing there, pulling that foul ball back when Evan had just checked in. What was your mindset? Obviously first base, you've been playing all year this year, but I think it's a relatively new position for you. Can you talk a little bit just about how this year has gone from a defensive standpoint for you, and then the pinnacle with that catch, and then also the pick off Robbie's great play?
Yeah, I think moving over to first has been a relatively easier transition from one position to another. Personally, myself, I think I play well. I have a good glove, so I think kind of just doing my thing. I kind of am a little bit more relaxed over there and just go get the ball and basically catch it. That's what you're at first base to do. So just keep the eyes behind it, catch the ball. You know, the fly ball and foul territory today, that was a bit of a fun one. That was kind of the high school receiver that came out there, but I knew I had room. I ended up going into the fence, but yeah, just staying locked in, having fun, and I think, you know, it's gone well over there for me this year at first base.
Definitely. And then last thing I'll ask is, you guys will be back wearing the home whites, I assume, tomorrow, back as the home team. Does that have any sort of pick me up, and does this win mean more because of that, because you'll be back as the home team in Game 2 here tomorrow? What are your thoughts on that?
No, I just think it's a great group of guys that love playing together. I don't, if we're home, if we're away, if we're here at Northfield, if we're somewhere else, we're pretty blessed to be together, kind of hanging out, playing baseball, doing our thing. I'm excited to get out of here and go have dinner together and just spend time and talk about the game and talk about what's to come, and then ultimately get together again and play a hard-fought baseball game, be ready to go. So that's kind of what we focus on, each other. That's why this team's really, really special. It's a really tight group of guys who care about each other. I think you could hear in their answers, there's a lot of selflessness and like let's do it for the next guy. I think that's why what you're seeing on the field is happening, and I'm excited to be a part of that too and keep hanging with them. So home or away, no big deal. Let's just keep playing together.
I like it. Anything from the media or anyone else?
I have a quick question. So Collins kept you off the board for the first 5 innings. What, coach, and maybe the other guys to your right there, what makes him so hard, or what was the approach to deal with what he was offering on the mound?
I mean, I let them speak to it. They were facing it, but I thought he was just a real good 4-pitch mix, going in and out with fastball, using a good slow breaking ball, slider, change up, and really mixing extremely well. That's what I was seeing. I don't know what you guys see. I assume it's similar.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much going off of that, he was just trying to make us get ourselves out, and I think he did a really good job of that. And ultimately, we knew when they put up that 3 spot, we were just going to have to chip away, and I think we did a really good job of chipping away. It wasn't a lot of solid contact in the first 6 innings, I'd say. So I think we knew what we had to do. We had to work some counts. We had to get deep in counts and then chip away. And we did a good job of it, staying in it. And then, yeah, we were able to come through.
I also thought he did a great job filling up the zone. I mean, there's guys where if you get through the order once, everyone's kind of struggling to make solid contact or struggling to see it. You can kind of, you can be a little bit more picky, draw some walks. He wasn't really throwing many balls, so that was kind of taken out of the picture. So once we, fell in a hole, we had to bear down, scrap and claw, throw some runs on the board, which we ended up doing. I think putting that pressure, or having that pressure put on us, almost helped us offensively. But I think it's just, not trying to get too big. And once we had to, come back from the game, I think we did a better job of not getting too big and just doing our job and putting more run after run and run on the board. So,
Coach, knowing the pitchers you used today, what's your pitching plan tomorrow, and what happened? How does today impact what you do tomorrow?
So basically, we just talked to the pitchers after this outing. I mean, Scully had a pretty short outing. Foxy had a pretty short outing. Jordan would not be available, but I'd say every other pitcher other than them will likely be available. We'll talk to Evan and we'll talk to Will tomorrow. And not to overlook Will Fox. Will Fox threw the ball really well also. We talked about Jordan, talked about Evan. Will did a really good job getting us through 2 innings. So the bullpen giving us 4, giving up only 1 to that team, I thought they did a heck of a job, including Foxy as well. But we'll talk tomorrow and see how everyone's feeling. They're doing their recovery now, and we'll just try to recover after each game and see where we're at in the morning. So.